Warning, this podcast contains Leonardo DiCaprio. What's so funny?
Nothing. Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for The Flash Season 2, Episode 14, Escape from Earth-2. I'm your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom.
Hi.
Should I say I'm Killer Frost today?
You are Killer Frost.
I should have done the pale makeup, but I don't have any, pale foundation, so that won't work.
Yeah.
Foundation's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
This episode was insane.
So good! It was like, every theory we've had so far, I just immediately chucked out the window in this episode, and I was just like, okay, new theory time.
You chucked all of them out?
Yeah!
All of them?
All of them!
Wow.
All of them.
I think I have this nailed down. I think I know who the man in the iron mask is. I think I know who Zoom is. I think I'm good.
I agree. Well, okay, here's the thing. I think I know who they are, but it's where they're from that's still the question for me.
I think I got them all nailed down.
So I think we just have to start off with our... Forget talking about the plot and shit. Let's just start with our theories, because it has to come out.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
I've been thinking of nothing else since I watched that episode.
Okay.
So, I think the man in the iron mask is Jay.
Okay.
The question is, which Jay? Because if we are to believe our Jay, he's Jay, you know? Or is... Alright, hold on. I didn't compose that sentence very well.
No.
Not at all.
No.
So the Jay that is currently on Earth-1, I think is not Jay at all.
Okay, I'm gonna... Before you continue on with your theory, remember, in Earth-2, there is a statue showing Jay Garrick. And it is him. It is a full bronze statue of him.
Yes. But I think that the Jay that we know as the Flash from Earth-2 is Hunter Zolomon. It's Earth-2's Hunter Zolomon, who stole Jay's identity.
Okay.
Artificially manufactured his own Speed Force. And acted as the Flash. So the Flash which explains why he doesn't wear a mask, because he wants people to see his face.
Okay.
But I think that he's been pretending to be Jay Garrick and to be the Flash. And the real Jay Garrick is the man in the iron mask. Not Leonardo DiCaprio, as the joke stands.
The man in the iron mask is Leonardo DiCaprio. No, okay, so there's one scene. One very, very short scene when they were discussing the... Barry phasing, if he could phase through the wall or not, where this picture right here showed up and gave a nice look at the back of his head.
Yes.
Right? That looks, to me, like none other than Eddie.
But you think it's Eddie?
I think that is Eddie. If you see this picture here, this looks very similar. Yes, it's a little shorter in that picture, but that's an old picture from Season 1. He's had some time since Season 2 to grow it out. I didn't have enough time to reference his short appearance in the beginning of Season 2 yet. So I really feel that this is Eddie, 100%.
Interesting.
Because if you look at Jay, I got a screenshot of the back of Jay's hair. It is way too short. So it's not this guy that's playing Jay or Hunter. So it's not that guy. Yes, it could be a different Jay, but if that was the case, what is the point of hiding the face? Right? So it's got to be somebody that we know.
If this is...
So I think it's Earth-2 Eddie.
Yeah, that's possible. But if it is, I know we're making the joke, and Reddit makes the joke, the man in the iron mask, but the point of the man in the iron mask was because they were twins. They were twins, and they had the same face. So it was to hide his face. So if if the Jay Garrick we know stole the real Jay Garrick's face somehow, then he'd want to hide the original Jay's face.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could also be, because here's where I have a split theory. Because it could also be that, Jay Garrick or Hunter Zolomon from Earth-2 is pulling a
reverse flash. Yeah.
And he's he is actually Hunter Zolomon with a different face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Listen, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah. See, Energy Chills in chat. He's also saying some people think that Zoom is Henry Allen. And I honestly 100% am going with that. Because there's been this picture floating around, this like behind the scenes photo of Zoom without his eyes blacked out. Mm-hmm. It's an on-set piece. And they have it here superimposed over Henry Allen. And if you look, the top left picture right here versus the bottom right, look how close that face, like you could see through it goes from the top left, top right, middle, middle left, middle right, it goes that way, and the transparency layers are filled up over it. So if they're using the correct actor to fill in for Zoom, and there was just moments where I just looking at it, I was just like, I feel like this is Henry Allen all over again. The body type matches up, like he's really jacked, and then it was just so weird how like he gets out of prison and then just goes to like he goes off to like go camping. It's like,
wait, you think it's
no, I don't think it's Earth-1. No, I don't think it's Earth-1, but I'm just saying like it's kind of like a red herring,
Yeah.
So it's just like he's here and then he like goes away, and so they want you to kind of forget about him a little bit, make it seem like he's not there, so he's not in the forefront. And then when we saw the phone call last episode where it's mom and dad, Barry called and his mother answered, not his father, his mother answered. So that begs to where's his father? And then if you remember back to when we met,
she said you want to talk to your father, he's right here.
Yeah, but if he's a speedster, he can be anywhere.
I mean, yes, but
but also I'm thinking, if you remember back when we had the news report on TV in Earth-2, the episode with Wells, where it was like Oliver Queen was found dead, and then his father had taken up the Green Arrow. It's like role reversal. So if this Barry here didn't become a speedster, maybe his father did.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's who I think Zoom is. I think Zoom is the Jay Garrick we know.
Mm-hmm. You think he's...
I can't explain.
Yeah, okay, so
there was an article...
There was a really big, weird, suspicious gap when the incident came and he's like, oh, I'm going to go take a nap, right? After he went and saved the people, and I'm going to go downstairs and take a nap. And then all of a sudden Zoom appeared in, like, Earth-2's, like, area, like in the cell over there. It's, like, really weird, and then, like, all of a sudden Jay shows up again a little later, like...
Yeah.
It's weird.
And it wasn't Jay that made me suspicious, and I read this article on Forbes. It's when they said... Well, they pointed out that, oh yeah, Jay happened to be missing at this time, but while I was watching the episode, I was more suspicious of Zoom. I was like, why has Zoom been gone all of this time? Mm-hmm. When they're sitting there debating on how to get Barry out, and I'm like, where is Zoom? He should be here already.
Yep.
And then he shows up. But when the article pointed out that Jay was suspiciously gone, I was like, hold on, maybe switcheroo. It's the same guy.
Yeah, it's possible, but the reason why I want to say Earth-2, Jay that we know, the one living on Earth-1 right now, not Hunter Zolomon, but Jay, is because Caitlin's been analyzing his blood. So unless he's been, like, somehow like speed switching out blood samples for her to test. It seems kind of impractical to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing that I'm thinking is that he's just working with Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100% think he's working with Zoom.
He's probably dead because Zoom put his hand through his chest. So,
well, they can phase through things all the time, and like he phased through Wells' chest to get the bullet out. So like his hand was through his chest to get the bullet. So that doesn't mean anything.
I guess that's true. I guess I'm used to, speedsters putting their hand through Cisco's heart and stopping it. So that's sort of
well, that's putting their hand through and physically stopping an object. I know. So this just went through and then pulled him in. So
yeah.
It's possible that was done with trickery of speed mirages and things, and like we've seen all kinds of. There's a possibility that it's Eobard Thawne from Earth-2's future coming back and entering people, and there's all kinds. I don't know. It could be anything.
I think if Eobard's coming back, Eobard has taken Jay's face.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I think that's more likely if Eobard's around.
But I like the twin theory, and I think that's going to play in somewhere, but I don't think it has anything to do with the Man in the Iron Mask. Because if we look at the Man in the Iron Mask here, I have another still photo.
Yeah.
He's very similar in height to Barry.
Yeah, which Jay is very, very tall.
You put Jay and Barry together, and he's tall, but you see right here, like the height is almost the same height that's here, but not quite. But the other thing to note here is that he's standing in a raised platform. The cell is slightly raised, so that would put Barry just slightly taller than him, even though they're both kind of hunched in this picture.
And Barry is taller than Eddie.
Right. So here's a picture of Barry and Eddie together. Mm-hmm. And Barry is just very slightly taller than Eddie. Mm-hmm. So I'm convinced, without a shadow of a doubt, that the Man in the Iron Mask is Leonardo DiCaprio. No, I'm kidding. That it is Eddie. It's got to be Earth-2 Eddie.
Yeah. You were shocked when I said I threw all of my theories out the window this episode, but I did.
Yeah.
I threw them all out the window. These are all new theories in my head right now.
Yes, but we had discussed...
He is saying Zoom is Wally. They used to be my theory. I don't think that anymore.
Yes, Lee Silver in chat is saying Zoom is Wally West Earth-2 style. I don't believe that's true. Because the body type is so different. It's so incredibly different.
No, Dom, that's a moot point, because think about Wells. Reverse Flash had a very different body type than Wells. The suit made him look bulkier. We can't look at it like that.
No, I know, but Wally's just not as tall. And like this is a lot of other factors. Like yes, you could put artificial like bulk on someone like that, but you can't change somebody's height that much and have have it believable.
I don't know. And the thing I think that whoever Zoom ends up being, he's an animal version of whoever he was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just his mask, his whole persona, it's just like he is so single-minded, and it's very, like, he's got the muzzle, I don't know, it's scary. He just keeps scaring me.
Yeah. To throw a little more curve in another direction, which I can't quite make the pieces out to, is, yes, the Leonardo DiCaprio had used the tap code, right? And we got Jay out of it. I went back to when he was tapping before they realized that it was a code. Yeah. And I tried to figure out some of the letters. Mm-hmm. And I got a Z and an H.
Hunter Zolomon?
Yeah. So they were just very scattered. The H came first and then the Z, afterward. And there was a couple other letters in the middle that really, they were just, there was an O and, so it's all stuff that's in Hunter Zolomon, but it was like spliced throughout. It was never like together back to back. It was just like commercial break or switching back from a scene,
He's probably been tapping for how fucking long? As long as Jesse's been there.
Well, yeah.
So he's probably lost the, order somewhere along the way, just from just the determination of tapping and tapping.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a military thing.
Yeah.
It's not Morse code, but it's a military cipher.
It's a prisoner of war code. Yeah.
Prisoner of war code.
They used to tap on pipes and stuff, to do stuff. And if you look at the chart, it's 5 across. So you're going to go A, B, C, and C and K are going to match in the same box as the third one. So A, B, C, D, E, and then the next row is F, G, H, I, J, and it's going to continue on like that. So if anybody wants to go back to the episode and look, the way it works is you make the 5x5 square. You start across A, B, you go across that way. And then when the tapping goes, you go down and then across. You don't go across and down. You go down and then across to figure out the code. So, I mean, they even explained it at one point in the episode, how it worked or whatever. I researched it even further, made sure, and I went through the episode, and I got a couple of other letters that all fit into Hunter Zolomon. So I don't feel that if that is because you get J and you get Hunter Zolomon. So if that is the real J, yeah, I don't see. That's the thing is I don't know how Eddie is. If it is Eddie in Earth-2, I don't know why he would be tapping Jay or Hunter Zolomon unless it's to let them know that that Jay is Hunter Zolomon.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. So, yeah. And people because I was trying to talk with some people that from the subreddit for this episode, and they're like, well, why wouldn't Eddie just say he's Eddie? Why would he say Jay? It's like, because this would be Earth-2 Eddie. Earth-2 Eddie does not know Earth-1 Barry, so he's not going to identify himself. That serves no purpose. If he has information regarding Zoom, that's the information he's going to be trying to convey. His identity doesn't really matter, and it's hidden for a reason. It's hidden to us as an audience, which means it's somebody we know. So it's not going to be like, oh, they take the mask off and it's some random face that we've never seen.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think from as soon as we saw the mask, we knew it was someone we knew.
Yeah. And the person is not built enough to be Jay Garrick, the actor that plays him. So even if it is a twin or, whatever, it's not the same body type at all. So I'm 100% convinced that is Eddie.
Yeah. I don't know what to think anymore. This show is just I don't know. Mm-hmm. I can't.
And you want to know how bad? I went back to last week's episode and tried to get the tapping down for that. Because he had a brief scene in there. But I didn't get any substantial clues from that either.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, now I don't know where to go from there. I guess we could talk about Killer Frost. Yeah.
Yeah. Caitlin.
Yeah, Caitlin.
She hates being called Caitlin.
She does not like being called Caitlin. But I really liked how her and Cisco went back and forth.
Yeah. No, it was really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see her come through.
You would be so disappointed in yourself if you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I don't know who mentioned it, but someone, said that she kind of risks her life. She's probably dead. And we just have to say that right now. Because she's holding Zoom back.
Is she dead? I think she might have. She's freezing him. She's not gonna be able to hold him forever. But I think she's gonna. I don't know. I think she's okay.
How did she get away then?
I think Zoom got away. I think he just retreated because he had to beat them to the singularity.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
he had a time crunch.
Yeah, so he just took off. Yeah. I think he just ran from Caitlin.
Mm-hmm. It's possible. I don't know. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh well, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. We didn't see it, so we can't say for sure. No, but that article that I was saying before said it showed that there's some good in her. I'm like, maybe, but it also shows that she really wanted revenge.
Yeah. Energy Chills in chat is asking, what year is it in Earth-2? I believe it's the same year.
Yeah.
Right? So I believe it's still 2016. But it's just drastically different.
In technology and style and...
Yeah, like they're more advanced in technology, but they're...
retro in style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but Earth-2 Barry's got like this whole meta algorithm, and like you really see what if our Earth-1 Barry didn't have his speed, what all of his energy could have been focused on.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at him like, Barry totally could have done that if he had any time at all.
Yeah. I mean, we give Cisco a lot of the credit for the technology and stuff that they come up with now, but, if Barry didn't have his speed and he put his mind to it, I think he'd be right up there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also because Cisco likes making toys.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I was going to say something else about Barry. Or was I going to move on to somebody else?
That bow tie. He's fucking stunning in that bow tie.
Oh my god, him talking about his wingtip shoes. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
I really would have loved to see a scene of them climbing that frost pillar.
I hope that Cisco called her Elsa.
And see, here's another thing. In the episode, they were talking about like a TV show or something, right? Or a movie. Mm-hmm. Was it Barry that was doing that?
Yes, it was Earth-2 Barry's talking about Commander Carl, Space Marshal of the Galaxy.
Right, and that doesn't exist.
But it is probably a reference to Commando Cody, Sky Marshal of the Universe.
Right. So, this begs to differ. What the fuck is going on with the TV shows and the movies and everything over here? Like, they've made references to Jaws before, and other characters have understood them.
Yeah.
From Earth-2. Like, Earth-1 characters have made Jaws references that Earth-2 characters understood. Like, I forget, I think Wells or Jay, one of the two understood a reference from it. So it's either...
Cisco made a Jaws, or I think Cisco made a Jaws reference,
right.
And Wells understood it.
Right. So it's either that they have Jaws in Earth-2 that they watched and he understood it, and it's the same movie somehow, or... he somehow found the time to watch Jaws while he's trying to figure out how to get home.
But it also seemed like, because Cisco made a Star Wars reference to Reverb, and he seemed to not be confused
right
about it. So maybe there is a Star Wars in their universe. But when Cisco made the joke about Elsa, Barry looked over at him like, "What?" He had no idea what he was talking about.
Right. And then that opens up an entire other can of worms of if Supergirl is in fact in another alternate universe, which is the very high probability, everybody's suspecting and theorizing, when Barry does go over there in 4 episodes.
God, that's soon.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? What the hell is going to go... if she's in any... Is she on Earth-2? Is she on Earth-3?
It does not look like Earth-2. I think even if, National City has a different style than Central City. It's too drastic. Like the technology is very different.
Right.
I don't.
The technology very much mirrors the technology on Earth-1.
Yeah.
And the jokes and the references and everything almost mirror Earth-1. So that's where that's gonna.
It could just be a closer version of Earth-1.
It very well could be. It could be Earth 1.5.
Yeah. And what can happen and what might happen is, and has happened in the comics, is Earths meld. They become one.
Yeah.
If Supergirl and Flash's Earths become one, then they're on the same Earth.
Right. That's gonna make my head hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Because then what characters retain the knowledge from what Earth?
Yeah, try reading the fucking comic of that. It's not easy. It's like, wait, what? Now they're the same person? That guy doesn't exist anymore? There's one of them? There's two of these people? It's like... How
does, which Barry would supersede the other? Would we get to keep the Flash, or would we get to keep the bow tie?
Well, how it happened, I can't even remember, honestly, in the comics. But some of them ended up coexisting on the same Earth. I'm not. It hurt my head when I read the comics. I'm not gonna think about it.
It's hurting my head now. Let's not talk about this.
Let's not.
Till we have to.
Until we are absolutely forced to, i.e., they explain part of it and then leave us with hurt brains.
Yeah.
Oh, do we think Patty is coming back? That's an interesting question in chat.
I love there's a theory on the subreddit going around that Zoom is Patty.
Oh, I would love that.
Earth-2 Patty has just really mutated.
I'm into it. Well, because that comes back to something that we were talking about in earlier episodes of the season, where Patty said something very suspicious.
Right.
Because it was both her and Wells that recognized the same thing, which drew a parallel to them.
Right.
Which makes me think maybe Patty and her father weren't originally from Earth-1.
Maybe.
Whoever her father was, because we don't know really, except that he was killed.
Yeah, it was the bear.
Martin.
It was the bear.
Bear?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, the stuffed bear.
The stuffed bear, that's what they drew the parallel to. Something that on Earth-1 had not been made since her very, very early childhood, but on Earth-2 it was still in production.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know. It just... So maybe whatever suspicion I had is just that. But maybe if she comes back, it's going to be something like that.
Could be.
What was I going to say? Shit, I keep losing my thoughts. Because you know what? We started with the theories, and they've made my brain go to mush.
Yeah, because now you're just like, oh.
Now I'm just like thinking, I'm like, could it be who's the man in the Iron Man?
There's no doubt in my mind that it's Earth-2 Eddie. I mean, theoretically, it could be Earth-1 Eddie that they somehow healed.
He shot himself in the head.
Was it the head?
No, he shot himself in the chest.
Yeah,
You're right.
The chest.
My bad.
Yeah, that they somehow healed, and
but
that would.
He No, he died. It was Eobard that disappeared.
Right. And the timeline would still actually be intact that way, as Eobard dying, if Eddie's future was to remain on Earth-2?
Oh, yeah.
Because then Eobard from Earth-1 would never have been born, so it would still actually keep the timeline intact. So theoretically, it could still be Earth-1 Eddie, but I don't see that being the case because he would have been more apt to recognize Barry and try to communicate with him otherwise. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Patty, I forgot they mentioned her this episode. She was a CSI tech on Earth-2. Yeah, Barry said something about her doing something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he mentioned that she was hot or something too.
Did he?
Or attractive, or something like that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, an attractive lady that works in whatever, he said something like that. And I was like, You're married to Iris. Why are you saying that in front of her?
Wasn't she wasn't she also standing there?
Yeah. She didn't seem to be fazed by it, so.
She's got other things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Like Barry disappearing for a day.
Yeah. A different, smooching on a different Barry.
Is that cheating?
She smooched the wrong Barry.
Is that cheating?
Well, Earth-2 Barry was pretty upset about it.
Yeah? Huh.
I don't know. She didn't seem fazed by it.
Mm-mm. She's like, okay. I mean, she wrapped her head around it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Faster, I think, than Barry did.
Definitely.
Earth-2 Barry, that is.
Yeah, Earth-2 Barry. Although Earth-2 Barry had a very good, rousing speech.
He did. Very motivational speech to himself.
Yeah.
It's like almost practicing it in a mirror.
Yeah. But I also like how Barry gets out and he goes to the Man in the Iron Mask. He's like, I'm gonna come back for you. And then he leaves and they close the breach. And I'm like, Barry, how exactly did you want to go back for him?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. Like, as soon as they closed the breach, I'm like, you said you were going back for him.
Right. So there's got to be a way to... I mean, if we know that Flash is going to Supergirl's world, we know that there's got to be a way to open portals, gates, whatever,
God,
to alternate universes.
Do it on purpose.
Yeah, right? But...
Yeah, monumentally stupid.
So if it's only 4 weeks from now, right, for the Supergirl crossover, or maybe I think it's technically 5 because there wasn't a episode of Supergirl this week. If it's only that short amount of time, and we're on episode 14 right now, because it's episode 18 that Supergirl is having the crossover.
Mm-hmm.
So that would put us on episode 19 of The Flash, which would still give 3 episodes till the finale. So they may try to be finding a way to Earth-2 at this point, and until episode 19 is when they go through the portal and the episode ends, with them doing it, and then on Supergirl, Barry comes through, and at the end of Supergirl, they try going through another portal and they make their way to Earth-2. So if you're watching The Flash, it seems like he goes right to Earth-2.
Yeah.
But if you happen to be watching Supergirl, you know that he didn't make it there first.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
If I was directing the shows, that would be the way I did it. I'm not saying that's going to be the way they do it, but that's how I would get away with keeping continuity without having to explain to go tune into 10 million shows to keep up with everything, because it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point where we have 4 shows and you have to be watching all this. I feel bad for anybody trying to watch these shows on Netflix, or something after the fact, because you have don't start The Flash until you're in season 3 of Arrow, and then watch them alternatively, so you can't just binge watch Arrow and then binge watch The Flash. To get the full experience, you have to alternate them.
I hope that Netflix comes up with a playlist feature where you can just
chronological
queue up episodes from different shows.
Yeah. Well, I would love for them to just make a playlist for the DC CW TV verse, or I shouldn't even call it the CW TV verse, but the CW or the
Listen, I am attached to the Arrowverse.
Okay, but as much as I would like to go with that, but it's just because Supergirl. It's just because Supergirl is involved now. So, and that's kind of in its own universe. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to call it that, but like
then you can't call it the CW verse.
No, I know,
either.
that's why I corrected myself. But like the DC TV verse, I'll call it that. To like make a playlist or whatever that puts everything in chronological order from all of the shows would be incredible.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just I was just recently one of my ex-girlfriends started watching it. I'm just like, okay, well, you got to get to this point, and then you watch all of Arrow to season 2, and then when season 3 starts, then you could start The Flash, but then you have to watch them alternatively. Otherwise, when the crossover episodes come over, you won't know what's going on, and it's just like, this is a lot of work. I was like, yeah, but it's the only way you could do it. You know, and now you have DC's Legends of Tomorrow to throw in there, and Supergirl, and Flash and Arrow. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. So, I mean, you don't technically have to do all of that. You don't have to watch them in sequence, but you miss out on some of the intricacies.
That's true. Just a couple things before we wrap it up. Speaking of Elsa, to Barry, and Iris have relatives in Atlantis that they're gonna go stay with.
Right.
And some people think that that's a reference to Earth-2 Barry looking like Milo from the Disney movie Atlantis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why does he look like Milo?
Because he's got the glasses, he's tall and thin, and...
Oh, okay. I didn't know if, like...
nerdy and clumsy.
I didn't know if he, like, acted in that or something.
No, that was, Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
I think was Milo.
Gotcha.
Anyway, the other thing was that Velocity 9 in the comics is the drug that Vandal Savage creates it, and it gives Inertia, one of the Flash's enemies, his powers. So if the J, we know, whoever he might be, is working with Zoom, perhaps Inertia will, if he's not dead, could be his alter ego down the line.
Interesting.
Just some interesting trivia.
Yeah, for sure.
And then someone made the comparison when Zoom makes the flaming logo on the building. They compared it to the Dark Knight Rises, where Batman burns his symbol into the building.
Yep.
Fuck that movie. Anyway, do you have anything else?
Not really for this episode, but just as a quick side note, I was watching a Netflix movie the other night called The Hunters. And the actor who plays Ronnie and the actor who plays Dr. Martin Stein are both in the movie. It's like a TV movie. Yeah. And I was like, I'm watching it and I'm like, it's Firestorm. Firestorm are in this movie together. Like, so, like, The Flash is not the first thing that they've worked with, together. Like, they were in this other movie called The Hunters, and The Hunters actually reminded me a lot of The Librarians, and it was like a search for like crazy real life artifacts that are fictional fairy tale items and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was actually kind of interesting, and I was just like, headcanon, this is Earth-27.
Nice, like it. Done. In the vault. So, I'm into it. Yeah. I was just watching something recently where I'm like, oh, those two people are in this movie before they were in something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember because I'm the worst.
Yeah. Fucking Robbie Amell. God damn it.
Huh?
I said fucking Robbie Amell. He's just like, I don't know. Everywhere I turn, he's there.
Yeah. He's in the new X-Files.
Yeah.
Anyway, next episode, I think we're both really good. I mean, we're going from like this crazy Zoom-centric shit to King Shark. It's like,
Oh, and one other thing that I just realized really quickly before that is the actor who plays Eddie last season, I think it was like one of the villains on the Vampire Diaries, and I didn't realize that until I was looking up some stuff about Eddie, trying to like find a shot of like the back of his head for his hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, he's the doctor. He played the evil doctor that was like picking vampires apart. I was like, God damn it, Eddie. What are you doing?
Picking vampires apart.
Yeah. Anyway, King Shark, Street Sharks.
Yes. So we're going, like, and it's, I'm excited for King Shark. Do not get me wrong.
Oh, of course.
But, like, going from all of this very scary Zoom stuff to King Shark, it's just like, wow. Just, you know, leaving us hanging dry. But anyway, King Shark. When King Shark escapes from an Argus holding tank, lol, Lila and Diggle travel to Central City to warn the Flash. King Shark shows up at the West House and attacks Joe, Iris, Wally, and Barry. Now this is interesting. Interesting tidbit. Because, how to say this without spoiling Arrow. Something happened in Argus Chain of Command. And they never really said what they did about it. And this seems to be that Lila is taking up heading Argus, like I theorized. Because I don't think they ever said it straight out that she was going to take over. But it seemed like a likely thing.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because there were a lot of people that were speculating that Leonardo DiCaprio was actually Earth-2 Diggle.
Well, that was me. I said that just...
No, I know, but the subreddit was going nuts with that theory too.
I wasn't alone.
No, you
that
weren't.
Was just like a crackpot theory of mine, where nobody would think this but me.
I'm not trying to sound racist by any means, but the dirt on his hands and the lighting definitely made him look black.
I agree. But here's the thing, and this is something where I was thinking, because it's very specific, the cipher he was using, and for it to be an army thing,
right?
Diggle is a very army dude.
Right.
Like, he's from the army.
Yep. And granted, Earth-1 Eddie doesn't have any military background. That doesn't mean Earth-2 Eddie doesn't, because we've seen people in completely different professions, like Joe, who is a police officer versus a jazz singer.
Yeah.
You know?
Which, thank God they let that man sing.
Yes. So, and then it wasn't until this episode now when they showed that side view and you got to see his neck. Yeah. That's when I was like, no, the actor isn't black. It's a white actor.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know, man.
But then it's just funny because I go from that theory to watching the trailer and I'm like, it's Diggle! Diggle's coming over!
I love Diggle so much.
I was just kind of like taken aback too. I was like, wait, what the fuck is Diggle doing here? And then, you know, I realized then that they were taking the Meta Quake. They said they were taking him to an Argus prison.
No, they were taking him to Iron Heights.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant, Iron Heights.
Thank you for mentioning this, because when I heard that, I was like, why?
Right.
Literally every meta you've ever caught, you put in Star Labs, in the reactor in Star Labs.
Right.
Why would you take this guy to Iron Heights?
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense to me.
None.
And then when I find Diggle is coming over, I go, maybe it's just because they went there to bring him and Diggle's there and just, we lost a prisoner, and maybe that's all it is a setup. That's who knows.
I don't know. I thought that was very, very weird.
Yeah.
God, I was gonna say something else about Argus. I don't know. Oh! No, that's Arrow stuff. Never mind. Anyway, Dom, where can the people find you?
Find me down below at Phenomadom. PHENOMEDOM.
Do.
Phenomadom.
God, I like almost said Arrow stuff, and I'm like, nope, wrong show. It is gonna get harder and harder to keep them apart, though.
We should just stop doing individual episodes for all the shows and just do the DC TV Verse podcast. That's too much. It is. You're crazy. I know. You can find me at Cleomoto on the socials, such as like Twitch and Twitter and things, and you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. Bye-bye. Or next time.
TV shows, movies, and video games.
Yeah.
Until next time. I messed up my outro. I did my old outro.
Did you? Look, that's Eddie.
Look at that tuft of hair.
It's Eddie and it's Henry Allen.
I don't know. I'm not prepared for those feels.
No?
No.
I'm prepared.
No, this is gonna be more father-son crying. Maybe. Can't handle that.
Well, that brings up the question of why would he want to take his son's Speed Force?
Right, that's what Energy Chills was saying.
But it's not his son. It's the Earth-2 version of his son.
Yeah, but I don't know.